Guys, if you have not seen this in the Facebook group right now, Sheer McKenzie a couple days ago posted this. I don't even know what to call it. Some sort of graphic, some sort of image, and it caught me because I've seen it before, but I didn't really look into it before until she posted it in here. And all I can tell you is it works. If you are present, if you are in the moment, if you are in the now right now, this graphic will not move. If you're in some state of disarray in your mind about the graphic will be moving for you. So if you can, you're in front of your computer, if you can go into the group and pull up yours for yourselves. I'm not sure if it works, me sharing my screen. Maybe it does. So for the people that can't pull it up, then do this. So let's get present really quickly. And because I want to encourage you guys to use these coaching sessions, either with your individual coaches or with me, to take a break from your everyday life, to be able to look at your life and your business from up above, 30,000 feet above. So you're able to look down at your business and you're able to work on your business and work on your life rather than just in your business. Does that make sense for everybody? That's how I want you guys to orient these coaching sessions. This is what one of the big things that you guys are paying for. This is one of the big value adds that we can give for you guys, is to take you out of the everyday, take you out of the emotion, take you out of the reactionary part of the business, and to get to the logical side of your brain so you can make some decisions, you can get some insights, you can see your blind spots, and you're able to work on those. So right now, let's get present. Using this graphic as the way to know if you're present or not, let's start focusing on your breathing until this graphic is not moving for you. All right, Dan C., why don't you share with everybody what you just shared with me, and that'll be our kickoff into today. So what did you just share with me? Dan C. just told me an interesting story, and I want everybody to share it. I want everybody to hear it.
Okay. First off, good morning or good afternoon. I just had a realtor meeting, unlike anything I've ever had in 28 years. The realtor saw one of my videos. She already has a preferred lender that pays a gazillion dollars towards her Zillow ads. She called me in. She wanted me to split half the cost of a golf cart so she and I could go door knocking so she could get listings. I just told her, thank you, but no thank you. I provide excellent service, and that should be a reason why. So I'm just going to stick with the Cheney system and move on. But that's a first. A golf cart. She wanted $4,000 and a commitment from me to go out and door knock once a week for like 6 hours.
So Dan, I have to admit, I've never heard that before, but we've all heard that Zillow, can you pay, right? That's what we've heard before. And so what I was telling Dan, I just want everybody to hear this, is that there are those realtors out there, and that's okay. I don't want anybody to get myopic and think that that's every realtor, though, or start to generalize. There are a lot of realtors that want to comply with RESPA, that get the spirit of RESPA law. They're not trying to get around it. And those are the people really for you guys to focus on. And sometimes it takes a little while to find them, but they are there. So here's a little trivia question for you. In the chat box, guess how many licensed realtors there are right now, currently at the end of 2018, according to NAR in the United States? How many? See if anybody's up on their NAR stats. There's somebody that's pretty close. Dan again, he said 1.2 million. There's 1.3 million licensed agents right now. Now let's use your own guessing and your own estimates right now. What is the average amount that a realtor makes in gross income per year, according to NAR? Ton was a broker, so he wow. Did a couple of you really watched? I'm surprised 3 people actually got this. All right, I got to know how you know. So Tom, Dan, and Greg all got it right on the number. Did you guys watch the NAR stats? Have you guys watched that? Is that how you knew that? Or did you just guess? Anybody? They just published them, so maybe somebody else saw them besides me. Okay, so $30,000 in gross income right now. Ton, maybe you can unmute yourself. Let's have a little conversation really quickly. Ton has been a broker in his past, and he's managed real estate agents. Is that about what you've seen in your practice too when you were a broker? Is Ton still on? Wait, if you're talking, you're muted. Unmute lower left.
Unmuted, but the audio is not working.
I can unmute you. Here. Ton, we should be able to hear you. Can you say anything? No, we got volume issues. All right, man, we got volume issues on you. But I'm gonna speak for Ton right here. I'm gonna bet that that's what you saw. You nod your head, right, Ton? Is that what you saw too, even in your practice? It was fascinating back when I was lending. That was my question always. Ton was a broker, and that's whenever I was talking to brokers, I would always say, hey, "Do you mind sharing with me your stats from your agents?" And I can't tell you how many times I don't know if you had this experience either, Sean, that people would say, hey, I have 40 agents. And I would go, okay, cool. So how many of them are producing? 5. Okay, how many are top producing? 2. Is that about what it was for you, Ton, in that?
I think, can you hear me now?
I can, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm on a new Windows 10 setup and everything is discombobulated. I tell people it's 1 in 10 at best.
Yeah.
The 90-10 rule is generous in real estate, I think.
I totally agree with you too. And the NAR statistics back this up, guys. So 1.3 million, $30,000 gross. That's before they split it with their brokers, right? And before they paid any marketing and before they've done anything else. Okay. So what does that stat mean for you is it takes some time. And you have to know that everybody's not a fit for your business. So if you take some pressure off, like what we talk about on Wednesdays, and you're just having conversations with cool people in there, and you're not getting myopic on this one realtor, how do I get this one realtor to send me business? Where you're really working to find the needles in a haystack, because that's what the stats tell us, is that there's, as Tom just said, it's 1 out of 10 that's even really a producer. So let's go through your own numbers right now so that we can start getting some good surveys and some good polls. And it's so important for you guys at this point in the year for you to start evaluating your businesses. So the first thing that I want you guys to come up with is simply take a second, if you're able to right now, if you're not driving, if you're driving, estimate how many units did you close this year? How many units did you close this year? Now, some people close a lot. Some people are newer. Some people are getting back in the business. So I don't want anybody to put in the chat box this number, but I do encourage you. We'd love to know as coaches right now, so we can be better coaches to you, if you could message me in Facebook. If you could just pull up Facebook and say, how many units did you close this year? As we start to group people for the new year, as we start to formulate what's our plan to get you guys to really crush 2019, it's important data for us to know too, so we can be better coaches to you guys. So how many units did you close this year? Second question, and then if you're using Encompass, it might be easy to find if you're at your desk right now. What was your total volume? What was your total origination volume? Cool, I'm seeing some people. Cool. I'm seeing I've gotten about 10 so far. So we got 38 on this call. So don't be shy. I know some people are in the car. So if you're in the car, please don't wreck. But everybody else, use this time. And I know you go, hey, man, wait, December's not done yet. So what are you talking about? Well, here's the truth. You might get one or two more in December right now and still be able to knock down a December closing. But the majority, 99.9% of all origination activities are complete for 2018. So it's a good time of year to do some evaluation. Okay, cool. Now let's start. Look, now we can come back to the chat box right now because this isn't proprietary information in the chat box, and this is going to enter into some really cool conversations with us. Now take that volume, take your units, okay? I'm just looking at units right now. How many of those units, so pull up your closed loan list, how many of those units came from your network, like either past clients or through social media, any referrals from past clients or from your network? Anything that did not come from a referral partner or any kind of paid lead thing. How many of your units came from something that came from your network, not from referral partners and not from paid leads? And what I want you to do in the chat box, so we can start having some cool conversations around this, because we're going to be able to isolate a couple key people. I'm going to be able to coach some people on what to do for 2019, and that's going to benefit everybody. So in the chat box, if you can put out of your units, what is the percentage that came from that amount? So you closed 100 units and 50 of them came from your network, either referrals, past clients, social media, organic social media, not any paid social media. 50 out of 100, 50% came from that. Put that in the chat box in this so that we can all see that. That's not proprietary. That's something that we can all all benefit from. This makes a lot of sense. Okay, cool. Out of the people that put this in, now go through and say, is it, so if you put 50% came from your network, is it 50% came from referral partners? Put the rest for it. So put what's the percentage that came from referral partners, and then anything else that's paid, if you have anything else that's paid in there. Fascinating. Okay, out of the people that went right here, if you put in the chat box, just shoot me a glance if you're not up for me calling you. But if you put in the chat box, I'm going to assume that you're all right with me calling on you to kind of discuss this. Okay. So I want to take a couple examples and I want to work through them with you and for the benefit of everybody so that everybody gets to hear this, because everybody's strong in some areas and everybody's weak in some areas. And that's really, really normal and natural. So Brad, are you up for being our first case study here? Brad Shank?
Yeah, I'm open to it.
Okay, cool. First, tell everybody what area of the country you're in, and then where are you at? How long have you been in the business? This is key.
Yeah, so I live in Colorado. I've been doing mortgages this will be my 10th year, about 9.5 years. I lived in Washington for 6 years, so I've been back in Colorado for 3 years now.
Okay, cool. And if you don't mind sharing your numbers with everybody in here too.
Percentage and units and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, just over the units. I saw your message to me.
Yeah, so I did 46 units for 13 million this year.
46 for 13 million. So it's a healthy loan amount. So good job there. You make a good, you check there. And then your breakdown looks to be about, is that 40% past clients?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I was looking at about 52% were referrals, 13% was some of the paid advertising I do, and then the rest are Sphere.
Okay, cool. What's your biggest takeaway when you look at those numbers?
Yeah, one, I mean, half my business is coming from people that are directly sending me business, but the other half is self-generated in a way, which is kind of a cool, one element of me says, hey, there's a huge opportunity to get a much larger number from referrals, but it's also nice that I'm being able to create business on my side and being able to refer those back to the client or the agents that I'm working with, which I do see as that kind of full circle spectrum where I'm not just reliant on receiving stuff from somebody else, but also have that ability to be a giver and self-create.
Yeah, let's also talk about that 13% that you're paying too. You see that the amount that you're paying is also represents the least amount of your business. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. One of the nice parts about that is a lot of those people aren't yet being represented. So even in that 52%, a good portion of those were relationships that I've been able to really strengthen and deepen based on referrals back to them. Okay,
cool. So you can make a business decision on that right now. So you can make a business decision, but does it also make sense that the part of the business that you own, the one that's the organic, the one that's, that you could almost sell because it's your database, makes up 80%, 87% of your business.
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
It's huge.
Yeah. That's kind of my takeaways right there on that too. So when you look into 2019, what are some of your initiatives? Where do you feel like you need to put some time? Where are you strong? Where are you weak?
Yeah, I really look at being able to focus on deepening the relationships with the agents in my sphere that I'm marketing, really becoming strong with those and taking it to the next level. I also see some huge opportunities to continue utilizing Facebook, growing my sphere there. I know Facebook groups and some of the stuff that are done with the buy or rent stuff that I've scratched the surface with. I created, one locally that I've really done very little with, but I see some huge opportunities for growth there. Just continuing working and developing and building the systems and being disciplined about that. I think there's tons of potential for what's in store for 2019.
Are you excited about 2019?
I am, absolutely.
Okay, good job, man. That's, that you have a very well balanced business. You have a good understanding about, you sounded in your power when you were talking about the paid part right there too, and that you understand that there could be value there, but again, that it's also going to be almost every loan officer's least amount of business that it comes from. Although all ads and everybody that's trying to get you to spend money on that stuff tell you that they leave that part out, right?
Sure. Well, and even just that idea of I started cold calling internet leads in 2009 for refi. So there's always been an element of my business that's been based on some sort of lead generation. And so there's also a little bit of freedom in what you're saying is hey, you're not relying on this stuff, that you're being able to create a lot of business yourself that you don't always have to be attached to this mindset you started with.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for sharing and thanks for being on. Hopefully that gives you some good things to think about for your business.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
So anybody else in the chat box right now, if you want me to call on you too, to kind of work you through some stuff or to see if I hear any place that you're stuck to, there's a lot of value in everybody listening to me help you out through your numbers and your business right now too. A lot of people can pick up a lot of things right here too. So Larry, let's go to you.
All right. Should be able to hear me now.
Yeah, so what's the units?
24 this year.
24. So you're just getting back into it, right? Like you're getting back into the business.
That's very true. I've changed companies the last couple of years, and it's really been rough on the business.
Okay. When you look at your breakdown, you got about a 50-50 split. What do you hear right here?
I was really surprised that I had 50% was from my personal sphere, actually.
I feel like everybody did think that, yeah.
But by the same token, I think that if I'm to double my volume next year, I really need to increase the amount of referral partners, because my database is not going to change that much in 1 year. So I think I really got to focus more on developing more referral partners in the new year.
I'd agree with that. I think that that's a place that you can blow it out. And let's go to Ton right now. Ton, if you're on right now, Ton's relatively new into this business. As we just spoke about, he's been a realtor. But Ton, you have some excellent numbers right now. And tell me if I'm wrong. Is this your first year in the business?
No. I'll be coming into 5 years this coming spring. Not first. Yeah.
Okay, so you'll be coming into spring. So tell me about your numbers. You said 90. Well, tell everybody your numbers so they get a context.
Well, I have 62 units closed. I've got 9 locked on the books for December.
Okay.
So I'm going to end up with a decent year. I just did a quick look through everything, and this isn't exact because glancing at Encompass, 7% looks like it's from referrals that are not partner based.
Wow.
21% builder, 72% realtor.
Wow. So what is your takeaway on your business?
It shows my weakness that Shira knows, because we've talked about this multiple times. I've started and stopped multiple times. Is I switched careers and I ignored my future customer, my future real estate customers, whatever you want to call them, people that I sold houses to. I've ignored them, and I still have a problem going back to something. I was just half an hour ago, I was talking to one of the guys here about reaching out to somebody that I haven't talked to in 15 years. I have a problem, and I stop and start doing it. I need to get on a schedule of just suck it up and do it, because I have a sphere. I have people I've done business with that I know I can reach out to. I haven't been doing it regularly. I've been focusing on all the realtors out there that I know that are in the area that I get along with and that are kind of easy pickings for me, and that comparatively, I should say, comparatively easy pickings.
Yeah. And it's fascinating, and I appreciate you being open and sharing that right now. Because as I say, some people, those are good numbers, right? Those are great numbers as a base. 64 units, would you say 20 some million, right?
24. I'm on the books for 29 million for the year is what I'll close. 29
million is excellent. When you look at when you look at a cross section of the nation, and you see that puts you probably in top 3% in the nation. So it's excellent. What 29 million is. But what we're here to do is not to say, hey, listen, that's excellent, rest on your laurels. We're here to say, man, you've got probably another 20 million a year just by making a couple of key little shifts into your database without having to do much of anything else. Does that make sense?
100%.
Right. You're a 29 that could be a 50 within 18 months. That's what it is. That's like a really healthy way for you to look at your business.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, right?
Definitely. No, I know it. I need to, just do it.
Yeah. Well, our job again is to bring awareness and then help you guys want that. And then once you want it, that help hold you accountable to that. Let's go to somebody that gets a lot of business from their network, and then we'll hear somebody different, maybe that are feeling inspired from your ability to get a lot of business from referral networks. So Robert Grove.
There.
What are yours?
Yeah. Well, unit wise, I still haven't picked up to where I want to. I'm at 20 this year, so it's pretty weak. So the majority of it is coming from past clients, my sphere, and Facebook leads.
Yeah.
So I'm not making headway and I'm not making traction with the realtor business that I've been going after.
Why do you think so?
It's a great question. I part of me thinks that I've been going after maybe, as I get older, a lot of the younger people that are on Facebook or on social media, because that's kind of who we've been targeting. And maybe I'm just not connecting with them on their level.
Well, that's a story I don't want you to tell.
No, I'm not. Okay.
Yeah,
Fair.
I don't want you to tell that story. That goes for everybody in here. That's a story that I'd love for you to tell a different story around that, because that's not what it is. So what's a different story that you could tell?
I don't know. It's a great question.
And it's been a long time. I have a lot of experience. I so love helping young professionals into the business. See how the stories change right there? I so love coaching my high school team. I'm so good at connecting with young people and helping people. And I would love and cherish the opportunity to mentor a lot of new, younger agents into the business. And I could be a rock for them in a tough business and an emotional business as well.
True.
See the different story right there?
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of people tell it, or a lot of people tell that story. And for anybody probably that's over, it's my age and older, anybody 45 probably and older, that's a story that runs through a lot of people's minds. And that is absolutely limiting thinking. So I'm speaking to anybody that's 45 and over right now. The millennials are fantastic people. They have a lot of energy. They're super comfortable on social, but man, they are absolutely thirsting for some experience as well in the industry to really help as well and to help mentor into God. So there's a lot of people open for that. And there's also a lot of people that are 45 and over that are looking for some help and some leadership around being on social and being older.
Yeah, that's definitely a focus.
What's that?
That's definitely a focus that Dan and I have talked about, and I'm looking into more. Yes.
Okay, what else? So that was a mindset. That was just a story that you tell yourselves, and I appreciate you being open to sharing, because guys, this goes for everybody. Everybody has a story around whatever, right? Everybody has a story. So understanding what your story is and then telling a different story. Did that feel good when I told a different story?
Totally. Yeah.
Does it make sense that when you tell a different story that everything changes right there?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, why don't you think that you have more realtor business now?
To be honest?
No.
Well, for me, I think it's because I know I'm a really good running coach, and I probably continue to put a lot more focus into that than I'm not putting boundaries. This is something that's just been going on and on and on. I mean, we've had a lot of success, and I tend to go to what I'm passionate about and what I'm successful at. And so I don't know, maybe that's where my focus is. Maybe that's why I'm looking, I can connect with high school kids and I can't connect with 30-year-olds.
Don't say can't again.
Okay. Or I have not.
Yeah, it's not that. Dude, you're fantastic. You're fantastic. Whether it's with high school people, whether it's with somebody that's 80 or 40 or 30, you're fantastic connecting with human beings, not just young people or high school people. Now, having a passion is an awesome thing too. You just need to make sure that your bills are being paid however you pay your bills. And that might be a reason why you're just doing 22. You might be satisfied. You might say, hey, I'm good. I love my life right now too. And if that's the case too, then just immediately stop beating yourself up.
Right.
But I can tell you this, all those high school kids have parents that need loans.
Yeah, true.
And so if you started shifting your thoughts also around how can I use my current network to get introduced into to really help people too, you have an absolute wealth of opportunity in front of you. but it absolutely starts in the story that you tell yourself. Because man, you're putting up boundaries hard on your own limits.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So same thing as running, dude. It's like if I was one of your students, if I said, "Hey, Robert, I can't run the mile," what would you tell me?
Not to use that word.
Right. What if I told you, "Hey, man, I'm not athletic enough to do a 6-minute mile"? What would you tell me?
Don't ever limit yourself.
It's funny, right? It's so easy
totally.
to give advice to other people and to see that, but it's so hard sometimes to see that in other people. Hey, man, I appreciate you being open and honest about that too. There's somebody else in here that didn't want to go that you just served, so thank you.
Thanks.
Hopefully that helps you.
Yes, definitely.
Lori Richmond, let's go to you. She's like, "Oh God, you just called me last Motivation Monday, and now you're calling me again."
I didn't put any info in the chat box.
You're sitting right next to Robert, so and you looked like you were engaged in that conversation, so I decided to pick on you.
I
Do you
don't.
know?
I didn't know. I don't. I would have to go and look at my closed loans list and check through it. I don't know. This has been a down year for me in terms of volume. So I guess I'm kind of afraid to look.
That's normal too. I appreciate you saying that. Is there anybody else in here that doesn't want to put their hand up, but like maybe raise your eyebrow or something so I see it, that said, "I don't want to look at my numbers"? Anybody else? A couple people did. That's normal too. All right, cool. Look at the numbers, get real, because guys, you can't improve until you take stock about where you are right now and get honest about where you are. And then once you get honest about where you are, then you can start making some really, really good decisions moving forward. So, Mr. Finkelberg, what about you?
Hey, everybody. So I'm DC metro area, looks like 81 units for 32 million. And about 40% of that is from past clients, past client referrals, and, friends.
Mm-hmm. What about is the 60 from referrals?
So about 52% of it's realtors, CPAs, financial advisors, attorneys, and then the other 7-8% is some inbound advertisements, that kind of stuff, miscellaneous.
So what's your takeaway when you look at that? 52, 40, and 8.
So one of the things that really stuck with me when I spoke to Shira in like our initial call was, for a mature mortgage practice, and I've been at it 18 years, 60% of that should be
60%.
So I'm leaving 20% of the business. I could have a 20% increase relatively easy if I was just better tapping into my network.
Yeah. How long have you been in the business? I didn't get that much.
18 years.
Yeah. So you're about 20% behind.
Yep.
And have you had a systematic way, using social and reaching out in a way have you had that yet?
I've completely dropped the ball on the social media piece. I've only been in the program about a month and a half, so I'm starting to get revved up with that. But I mean, other than, calls on birthdays and, a couple appreciation events kind of sporadically held over the years, I haven't, I got away from annual reviews. So, I mean, I keep in touch with my database, but it's kind of in a passive way as opposed to really being more intentional.
Right. Okay, cool. What did you have any takeaways from the 8% that you're paying for?
Well, so very little of that is, it's actually more at the company level. We do a lot of we're approved for all the down payment assistance programs in the area. So we get some inbound stuff from that. And then some of the stuff that I've attributed to advertising has really been like partnering with realtor partners on an advertisement or something like that. So I don't do like online leads on any sort of consistent basis.
Fascinating, right? Too. It's still a very interesting number for everybody, because everybody's going to log into Facebook at some point and get hooked into some Facebook ad that's promising, 100 leads in 1 week, right? And they leave out the very crucial information that a lead is not a client. Right? There's a huge difference between a lead and a client. And we've been talking about that internally a lot as coaches too, because we hear it a lot from people. And you'll see it's almost like they'll flex their muscles and be like, "I've got 20 loans in pre-approval status, right? And then you'll go, we were talking about this the other day, and then they'll go, yeah, how many of those loans are actually going to close? And this actually came from somebody, and then we just followed up with them 2 months later, and then they said, yeah, we've actually closed none of those right now. So I can't tell you how much. Here's an interesting question for you guys. See if you get this. You know who made the most money in the gold rush back in 1849? Who made the most money? Use your head. Who made the most money in the gold rushes?
Levi Strauss.
Use your mind here. Lori got it. Yeah. Tom got it. Yeah. And so how do you sell the tool, right? So the people that made the people that made the money in the gold rush were the people selling the tools. Okay, all the shovels, all that stuff. Those are the people that made the real money. So how do you make that money? You have to, there was a couple people that went early and by like just pure luck, they owned the land and they found gold and they found I forget what they call that. What do they call that? A vein, right? They found a vein on their property. They made $1 million, and then that became the story, right? So the story became that, and now everybody moves to California. Everybody needs shovels. Everybody did this, but it was the fail rate on that was so huge, but the only people that made the money. So when you see a lot of these things right now out there, the people that are making the money on the cold lead things are Zillow, are the people that are pushing the Facebook ads, are the people that are the Lending Tree. Those people are making the money on the lead situation. Here's some interesting stats. This is from NAR too. So these are purchase leads. Ready for this? We'll do it as a game again. 2011, there was 4.8 million homes sold. Guess how many online leads were generated? Online purchase leads in 2011. Mr. Finkelberg's on this. 4.8 million purchase transactions in 2011. 4.5 million online leads were generated. Okay, so now obviously people got loans and got purchase leads from other places and closed loans, but it was easy to make a distinction and to say, hey, we're almost at a 1-to-1 online leads, right, into closings. Ready for this? 2018, they're still estimating, but the estimation is 5.3 million homes will be sold. Okay, so a little bit more than 2011. Guess how many online leads were generated this year? Oh, somebody nailed it again. I'm surprised how you guys get this. Lisa Marie, you got it right. Don't do anything. 100 million online leads were generated this year. Almost the same amount of purchase transactions. So what happened here? It's the same thing as the gold rush, right? It's the exact same thing that happened with the gold rush. People saw leads. They saw when it was in its infancy in 2011, and there's the amount of companies and people, and if you can just run a Facebook ad, then you can tell people how to run a Facebook ad, right? So you have all these tools that come in, and they're all using the same stories to do that stuff. So, guys, my job for you is just to find out data and tell you guys the truth. That's my job for you. My job is to wade through everything and to tell you the truth. My only motivation is to find the truth, what works and what doesn't work, and to give you guys the best available data. If you asked me in 2011, would I say, hey, you should spend $3,500 to learn how to run Facebook ads so you can generate leads? I would have been like, yeah, you're on the cusp of something. Right now, all that stuff, I'm telling you, it's over. The ad costs right now on Facebook have gone through the roof right now. And the thing is, the mature businesses that I know across the country, well, we'll keep doing data on it so that you guys get to hear for yourselves, but they're not. That represents a very small amount of business for people. and this is good information for you to talk to your realtors about too, because they are getting inundated with this stuff as well. Okay, so I'm in this little data place right now because at Elevate, I'm gonna present my predictions for the 2019. I'm gonna forecast out exactly what I think is gonna happen, but I'm doing that based on data. I'm not doing it based on my opinions or what I think. So even you guys right now, like, I'm gonna take a lot of surveys and a lot of polls. If you're not gonna be at Elevate, I will present it after Elevate at a Motivation Monday too for you guys. But I really want you to focus in on this and share this kind of information with your realtors too, because they're getting sucked in too, right? So even Dan C, before sharing that story, they actually think that having their lender run around and door knock is a good strategy. They actually haven't heard that 1 out of 100 people are actively looking for a house at any time. So you have to knock on 100 doors to get one potential lead. It's not a good use of your time, right? They haven't heard that. So if somebody in their office said door knocking and they just go and do it, they need help too, guys, in there. So the information that we're going to provide for you too, I want you to take to your referral partners and to help them out there too. They don't know that stuff either in there. So let's go to anybody else that's looking for me to get any help. Who, if you can put in the chat box, who else wants to kind of dissect their business, see where they're at, see if we can shake anything loose for them? Nobody, everybody's scared. Come on, don't be scared.
Don't be shy.
Sure, who should I call on?
Wow. Who's in front of me?
David Cohen, thanks for volunteering.
It was either David or Rebecca.
Were you really gonna say David? I was kind of like, he came up on my screen, so I was like, David, how are you doing, sir? Break it down for me.
Well, so this year, about 40 units, and it was like an 80-20 split from what I could gather by my referral sources, 80 from referral partners and 20% from Seer, past clients, etc.
So what's your takeaway?
Well, I'll certainly increase my business if I can increase, my sphere, the business that I get from my sphere. I'm just working the system. I'm just working the system, and I'm trying to have the results speak for themselves, I hope.
Are you excited about the opportunity in front of you?
Today, I'm not vibing real high.
Using our language too, okay.
A little frustrated with production and the boredom that comes with it when things are slow, but I'm psyched for Elevate, and I'm psyched for the program, and I'm psyched to shoot out of a cannon in 2019. Just right now, I'm a little humdrum, to be honest with you.
That's okay. Look, I appreciate you guys being honest with that too. We're going to talk about one of the days at Elevate too. We're going to talk about vibing and how to vibe high consistently as well, and how it does matter, and it doesn't serve you to be vibing low, but it's normal and it's natural. But I can assure you this: the reason I'm doing this right now today is this could increase the depression, and you go, dude, you're supposed to be helping me vibe high. All I'm trying to do is I just want everybody to get real about it so we can move on into 2019. Does that make sense to everybody? I don't want anybody looking at 2018 and saying, I'm only this because of this, or this is only this because of this. It's only to say, hey, listen, this is where I'm at right now, and I'm ready to go crush 2019. But it is important to take stock in the beginning as well. Does that make sense? Cool. Will, do you want to go?
Yeah, I'm starting from zero. So the question I would have for everyone is, what is a good mix for Facebook friends versus realtors versus just non-realtor friends? And how do you increase the non-realtor referrals? What specifically would you do?
Well, I would definitely how long have you been in the business for?
Well, I've been in management for almost 27 years, but I'm just originating in the last 6 months.
Okay. So the key right now in this market is to let everybody in your network know that right there, and that you are here to serve them as your local mortgage trusted advisor. I would take our Tuesday system and instead of 5, I would do 20 of those.
Okay.
And the key is that you have to get with that, man, is it's just this. You're there to serve and to help. And if you truly are there to serve and to help your network, it is the easiest thing in the world. If you are there to worry about if somebody, what they think of me, or, oh my God, what if they look at me weird, then you won't take off. And so what I ask of you and what I ask of everybody is to play a bigger game. Don't worry about it. Okay. There are a lot of people in your network and in your community that need your help. I'm absolutely asking you guys to not be selfish and think about yourself. That's my ask of you in 2019. Instead of thinking, what will they think of me? Think about what would happen if they go online and use Quicken and get a bad mortgage or put the wrong amount down or get the wrong kind of loan, or they don't get their house. That's a much better question to ask than, oh my God, they might think I'm weird or sound silly. You see how that's a higher question right there?
Absolutely.
So I'm asking all of you guys to play a bigger game than the game of what somebody might think of me.
Yeah. I will share with you a great story. I actually had a meeting with an agent 2 days ago. She was approaching me to do Zillow leads, and I shared with her my business plan as far as generating my own business, and absolutely shut her up completely. She said, in my years, I have never, ever had any agent tell me that plan. And she never spoke of Zillow leads again, but she continued to talk about how we could do business together.
Mm-hmm. Realtors are bad at getting business, guys, from the consumer, but here's the truth. We're worse. And it doesn't have to be like that. And when you shift into, hey, you know what? I'm here to serve my network. The other thing is, guys, you're going to hear a lot about this, and I'm going to present this at Elevate too. And a lot of people are going to say, hey, we're going into a purchase only market. You got to be purchased. You got to be purchased. And that's absolutely true. But ready for what the numbers truly are? According to the MBA, in 2019, 60% of the business is going to be purchased. 40% is going to be refi. Okay. So I want you guys to hear that 60-40, not 99-1. Okay. So your network right now, let me tell you what your network is going through. They don't know how to send their kid to college. And they're freaking out about it. But their house, they don't even know. Their house is up $200,000. They're paying PMI. They have a second HELOC because somebody put them in a HELOC as a 15.5. And that HELOC went from the teaser rate of 3.25 to now it's 7.5. And they're getting so scared because they don't even understand what that HELOC is. And all they get when they tried to call some online person was some fast talker that made them nervous. There's a lot of good families out there that are looking for this. They're looking for you guys. They're begging for this. They're praying for this. Here's the other thing, is that when you originate in an upward trending interest rate market, you're going to get, the market won't go up like this. It'll go up in these down cycles, right? Up and down, up and down, up and down. So you're also building a database now. And now that you're learning how to run a really good business, that you're going to have a database from here to come so that you can get to 60% men, right? As you guys get, because it's the easiest thing in the world when rates hit a downward trend for you just to call these people and say, hey, listen, I think it's wise for you to do at least to look at a no cost refi. At least save you $150 a month, and you don't pay anything more. And then they go like this, right? Then they go, well, that I've had my loan for 2 years. I don't want to start it over. And then it's like this. I'm not telling you need to make the lower payment. I'm just telling you that you can. You can keep making your current payment. Instead of 28 years, you're going to pay it off in 25 years now if you make the same payment you're making right now. You have to know these numbers to help people. Does that make sense, everybody? Does everybody understand what I just did right there? I'm telling you guys, they are out there. They are out there. And does that help you out, Will?
Yes, it does.
And it's a big shift from I need to make 200 grand, so I need to get these amount of loans, which is important. But when you're speaking to people, you want to leave off all that anxiety, your own anxiety, and you want to just go help and serve people. And we want to be the best in our local markets at the marketing part. Does anybody else have any question they want to run by me? Is anybody stuck on anything? Is anybody going, dude, I've got this going on right now? Mr. Cohen.
One thing I just happened to notice in looking at my numbers, 38 of my 40 units are purchased.
Or purchases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question is, did I leave a ton of refi business on the table?
You answer that for yourself. What do you think?
Well, I just kind of was of the opinion before the coaching that it just wasn't an ideal rate environment for the refinancing. But of course, on my Tuesdays, I'm always reminding people, hey, if you got PMI, if you got, some debt, you want to look at your mortgage, let's take a look. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely trying to grab for it now, but you said 60-40 was the prediction for 2019. Do we know how 18 turned out as far as purchase refi?
No, but it's only a Google search away. I don't have that, but that is a good one to look at. I'll have it by the end here. Give me 1 second.
What resource do you use to find that information?
Well, I got the numbers that everything that I quoted, I got from the MBA. They were at NAMBA. I believe Mr. Finkelberg and Rhonda were with me at that presentation. I did not write down what.
Larry got it. Did you just post?
Oh, Larry, did you get it? I didn't see it. 60-40. Yeah, I think that if you asked me to guess, that's what I would have guessed, that the prediction, it was about the same. Okay. So even for you, right? So here's the deal is people just say things to say things sometimes, and it's not either the truth or it's data, right? Anybody can say anything, and it might come from a good place, like they're not even trying to fool you, but somebody might say, like you might hear from your company, oh my God, we're going to a purchase only market because they're nervous for people and they want them to do that. They're not bad for saying that. It's just not, that's what the data says. And if you do that, and if you look at the data and you make decisions from a data perspective and you think, somebody like you, David, you might have heard that. You probably did hear that, right? Did you hear that we were only in a purchase market? Or you might have said rates are up, we're only in a purchase market.
Yeah, definitely. Right? Mentally feeling we're in a purchase market. More than
right. So, and the answer is that's true. So if you ask anybody in the industry, I would never debate. Are we in a purchase market right now? Absolutely. Does that mean, but what is the definition of a purchase market, right? Like now let's talk about that. And when you get into what's the definition of purchase market, somebody would say that there's more purchases than refis. Absolutely true. Okay. To the tune of 60-40. The worst refi market that we ever had was in 2008. And I can stand before you saying that I did 40% of refis even out of my business that year. The worst one we had in 2008. And you know what it was? It was the people taking cash out. It was the relationships I had with financial advisors. It was people taking cash out of their primary because they own their primary free and clear. And they wanted to buy it. They didn't have cash anymore, but they wanted to take advantage of the low market in Florida, right? So, you know, so a financial advisor has a whole slew of people that own their houses free and clear that go, hey, I don't want to take money out of my investments because the investments are at an all-time low right now, right? So then you take money out of a primary residence, you're getting the best thing. You're not getting investment property monies associated with it. And and so I started telling financial advisors that, and then financial advisors started telling their clients that, and 40% of the business, well, it was a refi because it was a cash out refi. But a cash out refi at 6% in 2008 was so much better than selling your investments at lows. You see how that happens even in the worst markets that we had?
Deryck,
So
can you have Lisa Marie share what she just typed? Because I've heard it, but I think it'll be really beneficial for everybody.
yeah, sure.
Go girl.
Hi. So I typed of my last 14 deals, 6 of them are refinances.
Tell me what was the situation. You tell me what were the situations?
One of them was a guy I did a year ago on a VA loan. He insisted on putting some money down. It's happened to gain also quite a bit of equity in the past year. And he did put a decent amount down from rollover from his former home into that. And he and his wife were looking to, initially they were calling me to see if I had a referral for a home equity line. They were going to pull cash out to buy a piece of land in the mountains to build a house on later down the road.
Yep.
And we talked about it and said, well, you know, have you ever heard of what a blended rate is? And talked about, you know, that would actually put the rate really close to what he has right now. And it's going to go up because that number is going to keep going up.
Yep.
You're only going to be able to go up to 90%, and you're still going to come to closing with 10% down. So you're okay with, you know, bringing another, you know, $25,000 to closing to buy that piece of land. And he's like, no, it's not what I wanted to do. And I was like, well, it was a VA loan. Well, we could do a cash out VA. He's like, what does that do to my 3-point-something% rate? I'm like, well, it's going to go up, but it's going to go up anyway. Because if you're going to put it on a home equity line, you're not going to pay anything different. In fact, it's going to end up costing you more, and you're coming out of pocket a whole lot of money. So if you're going to finance it anyway, why not do it this way under a fixed rate, and you're not out of pocket that cash, so that you can keep that cash under investment with your financial advisor longer and letting that grow more money for you over time. That was just one example.
Love it. And what you just said, guys, and I want all of you guys to realize this, is that you're also a debt advisor. What Lisa just said is that she just helped somebody out as a debt advisor. Does that make sense, everybody? That's where you can really serve a lot of people right there, because a lot of people aren't good at understanding how to best structure, you know, the use of debt as well. Those things. Go ahead, Lisa.
Sorry, we were actually talking about this with Shira yesterday. I'll post on the group page some of the videos I've been putting out there over the past couple of months. It's knowing that, you know, people say that, you know, oh, well, things slow down in the wintertime. Well, my bills don't slow down in the wintertime. I still got things to pay for. So I'm like, I'm going to just have to generate it out there. So for the past 3 months, I've been real intentional about posting videos there and to my past client database through BombBomb, and explaining, hey guys, I'm getting a lot of questions, you know, about refinancing right now. Does it still make sense to refinance even in a raising rate environment? And have explained essentially, yes, it does, according, you know, or depending upon your situation. For example, I have 2 different people that I refinanced or did their purchase mortgages years before I was at the company that I'm at now, and we're still friends on Facebook. And they're like, well, hey, can you hit me up? I think I need to refinance. I know I have a lot of equity, but, you know, this kid's going to college. This car needs to be paid off. I want to get new flooring. The house has got to get updated. I want to pay down this credit card. And when we looked at, okay, so what are you spending on, not just your mortgage payment and just your interest rate on that? Let's just talk about payments. How much money is going out the door? And then giving them examples. Okay, so if we financed in this much, your loan's going to go from here to here. Your overall monthly debt between your credit card payments, the car payment, everything you're paying out the door versus what that new payment's going to look like. I have, you know, 3 of them are saving hundreds of dollars a month. And I've got given the specific examples on that, and showed, like the last one, it's going to save them $112 a month, where they're shaving off another 4 years off the term of their loan. A credit card bill is gone, and they've got some extra money to play with. So their interest rate, sure, it went up a point and a half, but I remind people, you don't write your check to a rate, you write it to a payment. How much money is important to you to hold on to more each month?
Yeah, and also even in that situation, even somebody going up a point and a half, they're still writing off that interest to the tune of, let's just use 30% as that. So it's not 1.5, it's really going up 1, really, when you talk to them about that too, because they're going to bring that up. But don't forget that it's still a top line tax deduction right now. So it's not going up on that as well. The big key is that, Lisa, I appreciate you sharing that. And for all of you guys, is that, Lisa, you're out there serving as a trusted advisor, as a debt advisor to these people. And for anybody that's sitting here looking at 3 weeks to the holidays and they're chomping on their nails because they're like, wait a second, Deryck, you just made me look at my numbers. And right? You're chomping on your nails. Right now is where you contact as many as you can and do free mortgage checkups for as many people as you can. You can call it an annual review. Okay. You can call it, I call it a free mortgage checkup. And here's the dialogue. Ready? I want to have you guys to write this down. Is, hey, Will, it is so important to me that you are always in the right mortgage for your needs. Do you have 3 minutes where I can do a completely free mortgage checkup to make sure? If that dialogue is real to you, you can do that over and over and over and over again. And I guarantee you this, it will give you as many deals as you want to start the new year. Just that right there.
Can you say that again?
Yes. Yes. Hey, Lisa, this is how I'd say it. If I ran into you anywhere and I was in this situation right now, it's December, I'd go, let's say we're at our kid's game right now, Lisa, right? Okay. Hey, that was an awesome shot your kid just made. Hey, listen, it's so important to me that every one of my friends is always in the best mortgage for their needs. Do you have 3 minutes where I can do a completely free mortgage checkup for you just to make sure that you absolutely have the best mortgage? 1 out of 3 will go, oh my God, yes. 2 out of 3 will go, man, I got a 3 1/4. I'm on it. And you go, cool. It's just so important to me that everybody I know is in the best mortgage. And you keep going. 1 out of 3, you'll get a 33% hit rate on that. Out of that 33%, you'll get 1 to 2 deals legit out of 10. So you'll get 10 to 20%, you'll get deals out of the 33 that'll do it. But this is what you'll also get. Oh man, I'm in the right mortgage. I have my son just can't get his finances right. I swear. Can I introduce him to you? Do you mind doing a mortgage checkup for him? Sure. Guaranteed you will get that. So anybody, hopefully, David Cohen, where are you? Still on, or did you fall asleep already on me? Maybe you jumped off and just started doing them already. Maybe you just jumped off and started doing it. This is what I guarantee you guys, okay? So if anybody's sitting down feeling bad or anything on this right now, use this. It's Tuesday right now. Go do 5 of these. Go help, because if you do it from the place of helping, you won't be shocked how much business you'll have. Does that make sense, everybody? Anybody have any follow-up questions on that? Anything else? Do you guys feel better? Do you guys feel like you have a plan now? Do you feel like you can go tackle this? Does it make sense what Tuesdays really is, like the spirit behind Tuesday? Awesome.
Sometimes it's a matter of changing our state to get excited. So I would love for everyone to get really excited. Show me how excited you are about the opportunity in front of you, and we're gonna take a picture. Let's go. Show me your best excited. Woo! Okay. Now you can go. Woo! Woo! Rhonda's dancing. Atta girl, atta girl.
You guys go serve some people, and I promise you, you'll get loans. You guys have a great day. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you.